Hi everybody, welcome to today's video. Today you get to play with a new toy. I actually bought this a little while ago, but I've never used it before, never used one like it, so it'll be an experience for both of us. And my new toy is the Harbor Freight 12-ton tubing bender. So like I say, I bought it a couple of months ago now, but this is what you get. This is the frame, the hydraulic, and it has several of these dies, different sizes. So I picked the one that was appropriate for today because I want to take this piece of 1¼ inch stainless steel thin wall tubing, and I'm going to make it's for the upper hose of a radiator of my Triumph Stag. Right there. I'll show you what the original looks like. So this is the original one. It's in mild steel, and as you can see, it has a much tighter bend than what this is going to be able to make. So I'm hoping that it'll be able to work around that all right, but I don't have much choice. There doesn't seem to be any other dies that you can buy. So anyway, I'm going to get this set up. So the first thing I'm going to do is take this tube and tape up the end, and I want to fill it full of just normal sand, and that should help it from collapsing or squishing down when it gets bent. So I'm going to go do that, and then we'll get back to it. Okay, so this was the sand. It's just all-purpose sand. This is by Sand Creek. This is what my local home improvement store had. I think it was about $4 for 60 pounds. And I just put it into a bucket to make life a little easier. Scooped it up in my hand like that and poured it down into the tube, which I've already taped up the bottom end. You want to make sure when the tube gets full, just tap it lightly on the ground. This thing settled down about 5 inches. So now I need to tape the top. So I'm going to go a wrap this way, a wrap that way, and then one wrap all around. So we'll be back in a moment. I'm going to turn this around so I can operate it from this side so you guys have a good clear view. There's a shutoff valve here which I've turned off. This is the jack handle. Got notches in the end. Just go over that, just snug. And place the tubing through and jack this up. So I'm thinking I need to bring these, there's rollers here and there, and they're just on pins with quick releases. Up close, maybe in one. See, I've never actually tried this before, so I'm just guessing. And I'll get this one done too. Piece needs a 90 in it. So I've moved the two upper rollers to the second closest position, that being the closest. So it looks like I'm going to need that space. My original piece, need to push this down a little bit. There we go. Has the curve right tight to one end, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get that close to the end because you can see that's centered there. This would not hit that roller. So I got the end of the tube about right here right now, and I'm hoping that'll give me enough to maybe I'll go to the very end. I got plenty on this end. So and let's see. How does that compare for that? Maybe I could go a bit further. There we go. Stainless steel too. It's not that crazy expensive, but you have to buy it on the internet. It takes a long time to get here, so I just as soon waste a little bit of tubing than have it be too short. So I'll just push this up snug now. and get you off so you can take a look. So here it is. There's the two rollers. This is the upper saddle. And it's just touching right now. So now it's time to, this being full of sand, let's see if we can get this to bend without collapsing. I'll tell you, it's very easy to pump, and I can see a noticeable bend in it. It does look like it's flattening out. The curved saddle looked like it was a relatively good fit for this. And it is the smallest one that they supplied, so we don't have any real choice about going with something smaller. Certainly wouldn't want to use anything bigger. I just got to the tubing is now bent down into the saddle, and of course I want 90 degrees, and that is probably about 45, so I'll push a little bit further, see what that does for us. Just out of curiosity, it's my original. This is parallel to this edge right now. You can see that it's not quite 90, it's probably about 80 degrees. And I think I'm starting to approach that. It's amazing how easy it is to push this pipe. Yeah. That looks just about right there. So let's take that out of here and see how we did. This is the end of the ramp. This is really just like any kind of a jack you might use in your car or something like that. It's just that they've got it mounted into this frame. I wish they had some tighter radius lower saddles, but they don't, so we'll go with what we got. So let me get this out of here and then we'll get back to you. So here's the finished one. I left this long for now because I'm not quite sure how long it's going to be in the car, so I'll wait till I change it out. I did trim this end off, and I used a bead roller just to make that raised section so the rubber hoses will stay on better. And there's a review of that bead roller on this channel if you want to look at that. So we got a little bit of buckling, and I think in reflection, on the second press I did on it, if I had slid this around a little bit and moved one of the rollers in tight, I may not have had quite as much. Though this is not bad. I mean, and don't forget that this bender is designed for pipe, not tubing. So pipe is much heavier wall. Like I think Schedule 40 and Schedule 80, I think that's what you use for like gas pipe and stuff. But overall, not bad. I mean, you can't buy this stuff. I mean, I bought one of these from a supplier, but the problem was it's about an inch shorter on both sides, and I can't afford that. Well, let me rephrase that. I have silicone hoses, and the silicone hoses are a tiny bit short too. So with the pipe being short and the hoses being short, it's just like there's no room for error. Anyway, but it came up pretty good. And I think, with time I would be better. I think if you're doing this with exhaust with mild steel, you'd probably be a lot easier because stainless is really pretty rigid. And there's actually 6 different mandrels for this. So this was the smallest one I had when I grabbed it, but there's 2 more smaller mandrels which were just hiding in my toolbox. So this is 1.25 inches. So it probably goes down to about 3/4 of an inch. The saddle, which I think is considered a 1/2 inch tubing or pipe, excuse me. Anyway, so it's not bad. So the worst was this little kink right here, and that's where it was unsupported, and I was pushing that bend. It was kinked a bit here too, but this is a pinch roller. The roller goes on the inside and the outside, so by doing that, I got it round again. This one here, obviously going to cut back somewhere somewhere near this mark is where it's going to get cut, and that's all just nice and smooth. So I think, you know, it's water flow from a radiator, so there'll be a little bit of turbulence there, but I don't think that's that big a deal. Anyway, so I'm pretty happy. The machine didn't strain at all with this stuff. You know, I don't think they were using 10% of the capacity of the jack. So I'm really happy with it. I hope you guys get something from that. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye.